Hello and welcome back to my community on Afrocentric Television channel 27.9. My name is Kolawole Akinmuyiwa, and as you know, I've been your host for a long time, and it is that year again that we try to bring you information and people that are making the difference and a difference in our community here in Houston, Texas. But today we're going to be talking about a prominent Houstonian who happens to be running for an office in Fort Bend County, right? Her story is so fascinating that we thought you should hear the story and then decide who you want to vote for. I welcome you, Miss Kiran Rao. Welcome to the studio.
Thank you so much for this opportunity.
So I said Miss Kiran Rao, then you remember I paused over there. I was going to say Principal Kiran Rao, and I'll tell you why she's a principal. Just give me a second. Let me get her on cam. Thank you for showing up today, and thank you for coming to our studio. It's a pleasure having you with us. So tell us a little bit, for people that does not know who Principal Kiran Rao is, tell us a little bit about yourself, and I would love for you to share your fascinating story.
All right. Thank you so much for having me on the show. As you shared, my name is Kiran Rao. I am a mom, a lifelong educator, and an activist. Right now, I am running for commissioner in Fort Bend County, Precinct 3. About my life story, we'll go back, several decades. I was born in a small village in India, and my father served in the Navy. In fact, he served in the Navy all his life. So when I was 18 months old, both of my legs got affected with polio.
Wow.
So my legs were paralyzed. So when my mom held me like this, and she says that both the legs would dangle.
Dangling.
Yeah, they were dangling. Wow. Yes. And, they, as any parent, they tried their best to get me the best treatment available at that time, which was, continuous physical therapy and treatment. And, I went through the treatment. It's continuous. Physical therapy is a part of your life if your legs are affected. So I started my schooling with actually the leg brace when I started kinder. And, many a times people don't remember when they were young, but I have very clear memory because I go to kindergarten. I have my leg brace on my left leg. And the school building, had stairs. I had to go to the second floor. So in India, actually, it's called, yes, we had to go to the second floor, and there is no handrail. And I just wondered, and there was nobody there to tell you what you should do. So what I do is I hold on to the wall and keep my put my stronger leg, my right leg. Right leg right now is a little stronger. I put that first. And drag the left.
Braces
and it won't. And the leg brace locks the knee, so it doesn't let you bend the knee. I just drag my left leg along, and I go upstairs. And the same way I come downstairs, and that's the way I did my kinder. And it has been a journey. I completed my school. I got my bachelor's in chemistry, botany, and zoology, and eventually I got my master's
chemistry, botany, and zoology.
Yes, and then got my master's in environmental biology. I started my family, In fact, I had an arranged marriage. My dad, yes, it was very common.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. Yes, my dad and uncle found my husband for me. And then, I started teaching, had my 2 kids. And then in 2002, there was a shortage of teachers in Houston, Independent School District.
HISD.
Yes, HISD. Yes, absolutely. So I came here on actually a business visa, interviewed, got a job, and then went back home and came here in August 2002 to start as a 5th grade teacher in 5th Ward. I started my teaching career. Actually, I was teaching in India for some time, and then I started teaching in HISD. I've taught in several schools in HISD. While I was teaching, Baylor College of Medicine selected me as one of the science cohort fellows.
Wow.
Yes. And so they, so they trained me to be, I would say, a better science teacher. And then in turn, I would come and train our staff. While
so it's like training the trainer.
Yes. And And then I got a full ride to UT Austin to complete my second master's.
Wow.
At UT Austin, yes. That was from 2005 to 2007. I would take my kids every summer to UT Austin, both of them. They were little, and then attend school, and they would attend different camps. Yeah, yeah. UT Austin offers a lot of programs for young children, and I would attend classes. And then I got my second master's, as I said. It was great. I got the scholarship because as a teacher, you don't make so much of money
to be going to that's school. A full ride.
Yes, going to school, raising a family, and then HISD selected me for a principal cohort where I attended classes at St. Thomas University.
Oh, St. Thomas.
St. Thomas, yes. I attended classes at St. Thomas and then became a school principal. And then for the last 8 years, until December, I've been, at Benavides Elementary and Pinnock Middle School, serving as the assistant principal. Yes, sir.
That's very, very fascinating. So, if I get it right, you started as a baby having polio.
Yes, 18 months old. So I don't remember not having it anytime.
I know.
Yeah.
And you pushed through to go ahead with school. You did not quit on yourself, correct? You pushed through.
Yes.
And went against the hurdle and scaled it, became academically sound, that you gained a full ride for not just your first master, but for your second master's to study at where? UT?
UT Austin.
UT Austin.
Yes.
And then you have to take your children along with you.
Yes.
Okay, so you remember, I don't know what you think, but I'm thinking that this is a story that tells how incredibly you have gone from being an 18-month-old child to where you are today, even teaching children, becoming not just a teacher, but also a principal, middle school principal, correct? Mm-hmm. And getting full right to a university for your master's degree tells your love for education and to teach others, even to better our community. It's so interesting that you're running now you're taking a break from school to run for an office. I'm assuming there are some changes you would like to make if you and when you get elected into that office, which is the Fort Bend County Commissioner Precinct 3. Can you tell us why you're running for this particular office?
Yes, absolutely. And here, as you were sharing, I would also like to share that as a child, growing up in India, we don't get any accommodations. Like their buildings did not have elevators during that time. Yeah, whether you live on the first floor or second floor, the roads are always not even. Most of the places don't even have ramps.
And you have one locked
yes,
leg.
You don't have ramps. So I think as a very young child, I learned to push my way and also be happy in that environment. See, the situation is like if you're struggling and if a person gets frustrated, then it takes a toll on you, right?
Right.
So yes, these challenges have been, they were there. They've been there all my life. But I would say maybe it's God's grace or it is inherent. I would not know. But I was always positive. Like I would also say, okay, this is one stair, or at times when the roads are uneven, I had learned how to navigate. How do you put your leg and how do you?
Against all odds.
Yeah, absolutely. Like how do you go ahead with it? So I'm just very thankful that these challenges have been there throughout life. But I had a good support system in place. I had good friends. I had good family. And I was able to, take one step at a time. And that's what my launch video also says: take one step at a time and move on. And now speaking about running for commissioner, working in the community, working in different schools within the school district, I have observed that sometimes, just the zip code can make a lot of difference to a community's living and, of course, to a child's future as well. Sometimes it's even, there is a stark difference just between two streets. Now, talking about Fort Bend, overall, it's a well-to-do community. where the median income is pretty high, but there are still, regions, areas in footbelt where people's voices are not being heard. There are still single parents, people with disabilities who have a day-to-day struggle. And, in footprint, we don't have an effective transportation system. So if you are not driving or if you don't have Uber, it's hard to get around.
Uber can be expensive.
Yes, Uber can be expensive. So I want to work on mobility and having effective transportation system in Precinct 3 and in whole of the community. It's so important, having accessible sidewalks. All sidewalks in our community are not accessible. In fact, I was at a park a few weeks back, and I parked my car. I was at inauguration. I parked my car, and then it was just grass. There was no sidewalk at all. So, in fact, my campaign manager had to kind of figure out, like, okay, Kiran, turn around and let's go that way. We had to turn around and find an accessible place so that I could walk around and attend, the inaugural event. But I don't say it for me, like I see the struggle of a day-to-day person, but I just don't say it because I have struggled with the issue. For a large part, I've learned how to navigate it around.
Yeah.
But, as like if somebody has been in an accident, or our veterans, or some of the people, those who are struggling with knee issues and all that, like the spectrum is huge.
Right.
It is important that the places are accessible. So that's what I want to work on, and making footprint as diverse as it is. Making it accessible and a good place or a better place to live for everybody and raise families. And as diverse as we are, Footbin County is one of the most diverse counties.
It is. We have lots of Africans there. We have lots of Asians there. We have lots of Caucasians, lots of African Americans.
Yes, sir.
It's just, really, really diverse, So yes.
Yes.
I totally
but
get
to
it.
have that, so as diverse as we are, for the last 200 years, Fort Bend County has never had a woman commissioner in Commissioner's Court.
Interesting.
Yes. So, diversity is great. We all celebrate it.
Right.
But it's also important that there is equity and there is also, inclusion. I mean, just not because it is my race. I feel, there have been a lot of competent women who could have, done a very good job. And I know some of them have run, but nobody has won the elections, has not been on Commissioner's Court. And it's so important with what is happening now, even with women's rights, to have a mother's perspective or a woman's perspective on Commissioner's Court. Yeah, so that's what I'm running for. And you can go on my website and check. But if we were to pick up some important points,
we're still going to talk about your three main priorities. So, but how many languages? I let you speak 4 languages. Are there more than that? How many languages?
Yes, so English is actually my 4th language. So
the 4th one.
You
speak it so fluently. Wow.
Yes.
I'm eager to know what the first 3 are.
And the interesting thing is that one of my first languages is Hindi. So Hindi, like Spanish, is a language which you speak very fast. And then this happens to the second language learners. And I know I'm getting on my teacher stage. So if your first language, like for instance, Spanish or Hindi, these are fast languages. So when you learn English, you speak that fast too.
I see.
Yes. So my first language is actually a dialect. It is called Haryanvi. It's spoken in the state of Haryana. So that's my first language. That's what my parents spoke and my grandparents spoke. And it's kind of a rustic form of Hindi. Yes. And sometimes people, in movies and all, they make fun of that accent. So it's a very interesting language. I also speak in Urdu, which is, I would say, a more sophisticated form of, yes, the Hindi language. I speak Hindi. I am very fluent in Hindi. I can write and speak and everything in Hindi. And English, I'm fluent in English too. So
I think there's one more.
So this is the 4th one, right? So it's Haryanvi, Urdu, Hindi, and English.
So those 3 are Indian language.
These are Indian languages, yes.
Interesting.
Yes, yeah, but I understand there's another language. I understand Punjabi as well.
But that makes it 5. Interesting.
Yes, I do.
But
yes.
before we leave today, I will have you say something to the audience in those different languages that, just telling them you need to vote for Kiran Rao for, Fort Bend County Commissioner Precinct 3. But before then, let's talk about your priorities for Precinct 3.
Yes.
You chose to run based on three pillars.
Yes.
And those pillars, one, I know you mentioned a few of them earlier, but I just want you to give it more definition that people will understand why it is that these 3 are what you chose to, or the platform that you chose to run on, right? The first one is accessibility.
Yes.
I know you touched on it, but I just want more definitions on it. The second one is mobility, right? And then the third is safety.
Yes, absolutely.
Safety. And I think everyone running, it doesn't matter what party, what country, what state, city, or county, municipal, whatever, safety should be priority. And I'm glad you chose that as part of yours. So let's talk about accessibilities.
Okay, we touched a little bit on it. And as I mentioned, there are areas in Fort Bend which are not accessible. So public places. So it is important that the sidewalks are even, there are the ramps which are there from the disabled parking are, at a specific angle. So I work with a group called Capability Conquerors. So it is very important that the elevation of the ramp is also taken into consideration.
To code.
Yes, it should be according to the code, because if it is too, if it is like too steep or something, then people with wheelchairs find it very difficult to
navigate,
navigate or access the building or the public place which they are trying to get to. And you always don't get parking, right? Sometimes the parking spots are full and people have to park far and still reach to a location.
Right.
And mobility it is so important that we are growing in leaps and bounds as far as population is concerned. We are spread all around, and we don't have an effective transport system. In fact, a few years back, I had undergone a surgery, and I had to take the Fort Bend transportation to go for my checkup or something. And I called them, there is a request for transport. I called them and somebody came, and, the driver was really nice, courteous. He rolled down the ramp. I went in, and then I was in that transportation for 2 hours, whereas the actual travel time was less than 30 minutes. So there is, the Fort Bend transportation system is there, and this is my personal experience, and I've talked to a lot of people. The transportation system might come to pick you up, but then be prepared to spend 2 hours or more in it. So although it might be checking some boxes that we have, we have to be candid. Like we are a good community on a lot of fronts. We have a good, we have a great school district, but on the same hand, we also have to acknowledge what we need to work on. And having this type of transportation system just doesn't fits right. Like if you have to spend 2 hours just riding the bus,
something needs to be
something needs to be changed.
Agree.
And even talking about talking about the carbon footprint, how good it would be that if we had some
CNG powered public transportation system or anything like that. Yeah.
I'm very sure people would take it, and that also cut down the carbon footprint. Now, safety, of course, whether you are in school or at home,
especially with the shootings happening all around.
Yes, safety is prime. Safety is very important, and I've had an opportunity to speak to a lot of our officers serving in Fort Bend area. I would say, by and large, they are doing a pretty good job keeping us safe. Right. There have been some car break-ins, and there is a concern that we are short-staffed on our force. the sheriff's office is short-staffed on our, I think it's about, they have 100 openings which are still to be filled.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. And also there is, I've met a lot of people. We are not providing competitive benefits and wages to our forces. So that's something which we need to work on. And definitely work on, recruiting high quality, people or manpower for the police force,
Right.
and also sustain them. So recruitment is one thing, but also, be there to, after we hire and train this force, we want them to stay. We don't want them to leave, right? So recruit and retain should be very important.
Very, very. Thank you so much. And guys, you've heard it all from, of course, our lady here, Kiran Rao. She's running for the office of the Fort Bend County Commissioner, Precinct 3. If you have not already registered, I think you should have already, because the time is fast spent. It's almost that time of the year, and we are that season right now where you need to vote. It's your civic duty. You just have to do it, right? Early voting starts on February the 20th, and it ends on March the 1st. So then the primary election, the main election, is March the 5th. So please, if you have not already done so, and if it is not closed yet, please register to vote, or check at least the status of your voters registration. Check if you've registered. In case you need a website, it's www.votetexas.org. That's votetexas.org, not votetx. It's write everything in full, votetexas.org. All right. And for you to be able to donate to Kiran's campaign, please visit kiranforcommissioner.com and click on the button donate. We need all the support. She needs all the support. I'm already counting myself as part of the team, right? She needs all the support she can get to get her in office. You can't but help. Support. You heard this story. It's fascinating. You can tell she's going to push and fight for what she believes, which are these three main pillars she's running on. We are talking about accessibility, mobility, and safety, especially for Precinct 3 in Fort Bend County. As the commissioner, I'm sure and I'm certain, because of her story, that she will do a great job. I am not here to canvass you to do anything, but from the story, whatever it is that as it ministers to you, please join the campaign trail. She needs all the support. Push the button, post her pictures, share her campaign flags and ads wherever you can find them. But for sure, they are on kiranforcommissioner.com. And Kiran is spelled Kiran, forcommissioner.com. Click on donate, and if you want to do a mailing, please send to P.O. Box 18875, Sugarland, Texas 77496. Again, it's P.O. Box 18875, Sugarland, Texas 77496. And of course, you can send her an email if you have inquiries or whatever. She'll be more than happy to attend to that. The email is info@kiranforcommissioner.com. Thank you once again for joining us. We appreciate the time, we appreciate the insight, and we look forward to a successful run for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
In advance.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Stay tuned. Please do not touch the dial. We'll be right back. Hello and welcome back to my community on Unforeseen TV channel 27.9. This is the station that revolves around the Africans in diaspora, especially starting with us here in Houston. I'm always excited, whenever I hear Houston or the opportunities they're in, or what people can and have done, and all the other things that, we're bringing to the community as a TV station. It gladdens my heart. On this next episode, we have a gentleman from the UK called Sunday Aderibigbe. He's the CEO of EB Properties. That is a syndication company in the UK. They manage properties. They help foreigners get properties all over the world. And they extended their there are opportunities to the United States. So if you're an investor, you want to invest in the United States, in real estate, that is, you're more than welcome to join them or contact me directly. And I'll be more than happy to help you. I'm a real estate agent as well in Texas. So yes, a licensed real estate agent, and I'll be more than happy to assist you. But of course, if you're in the UK area or you are in Lagos, Nigeria, and you want to go through EB properties, please by all means, that is Entrepreneur Breed Network Limited. They are, they are vast, they are well known, and they are trustworthy in the UK. We've partnered with them here to help them source for properties in the United States for investors, or even if you want to do a living, if you want to have a property for yourself to live in America, yes, we can help. And we have partners all over the states, but we are all over the United States, that is, but my license covers only the Houston area. And I just want to bring you on to the next, because they have what we call the Unforeseen Wealth Summit. It's an international real estate investment summit in Nigeria, and it's going to be held on the 9th of March. It's a Saturday this month, on the 9th of March 2024. It's going to be between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., where it's going to be at Radisson Blu in Ikeja off Isaac John. You can't afford to miss it. If you're interested in it, please, you need to register. And the website is, of course, unforeseenwealth.com. You can also go to their website, the EB Properties, which we would show down here. And we have speakers from all over. I happen to be one of their speakers. Hello. I happen to be, I'm with Lux Living Group. And then we have Mr. Niyi Adesanya, who is the CEO of Fifth Gear Plus, a consulting performance and strategist coach. He is all over the world. I've heard this man speak. It's fascinating. He's a planner. Forget it. He's one of the speakers. And then we have Mr. Sunday Aderigbe himself, who happens to be the CEO of EB Properties and UK real estate and wealth creation expert. And he is the host, by the way. We have Dr. Olumide Emmanuel. Even 2-3 days ago, I still heard this man speak. I just felt like, we have people with strong mind, talents, and, trying to let you understand that you can diversify your wealth, especially into real estate in the United States. And you can't even miss it, because it is real, and it's real estate. It's property, is a real property that you can, it only appreciates. The location, of course, matters. And it is a way to hedge your fund against the fall and rising of the US dollar against Naira, right? Dr. Olumide Emmanuel is the wealth creation general and a global investor, right? Then we have Peter Otuyele. He's the director, Mary Dave Associates Limited in the United Arab Emirates. He is based in Dubai. He is an expert when it comes to properties in Dubai. So please take a snippet of my interview with Mr. Sunday Aderigbe, the CEO of EB Properties. He will where he asked me questions about what to expect at the event on the 9th of March 2024 in Lagos, Nigeria, Radisson Blu. Thank you. Stay tuned.
I'm intentionally here in Houston right now to see Mr. Kolawole Akinmuyiwa. Yeah, and the reason why I'm here is that I want to make sure we put faces, we put action, we put everything needed, the process, everything needed for the success of this summit. So, Mr. Akinmuyiwa, so I'm pleased to see you again live and direct.
Thank you.
After how many meetings?
Several meetings. Yes.
So I don't want to blow the trumpet. I want him to quickly talk a little bit about what they have been doing, the success that they've had so far in Houston, Texas, so that you can know what is in it for you as an investor that will be coming to the United States.
Very well. Thank you very much, Mr. Aderigbe. My name is Kolawole Akinmuyiwa. I am an agent with Lux Living Group, right? At Lux Living Group, we have institutional buyer, just as EB Properties. That is Entrepreneur Breed. network in the UK and in Nigeria. So we have such as they are. We have some of them here in the States, some of them outside from Dubai, from Qatar, that had been here, right? And what it is we help them buy properties. In the last year and a half, we have done, the first set was about 200 units in a particular year, and the year following that was about 500. Totally in the last year and a half, we have bought about 700 properties for an investor, right? And that's a beautiful thing. And we still help individuals on a daily basis. We will be more than happy to assist you with whatever it is you need, as long as it pertains to real estate. We'll work the numbers for you. We'll look for properties that are off listings. We'll do the math for you just to make sure it checks out right for you. We'll look for the best location here in the Houston area or in Texas or perhaps anywhere in the United States. We work with other agents outside of Texas, and we are licensed, of course, to work anywhere within Texas. But where our license does not cover, we collaborate with other agents in those cities. That is if those cities or states are your preferred cities. For instance, people in Atlanta, in Georgia, Atlanta, they would ask, that's where they prefer to have a property. Maybe that's where they have families, that's where they want to go. We'll definitely travel down to ensure that these people have the best, and then we'll work with an agent, a licensed agent within that region, that they will open the line of communication and you work with them directly to secure their properties.
So thank you very much for this enlightenment. So one of the questions that a lot of people ask, which I want to throw to you, is one, that do you have to have American passport, or do you have to be an American before you can buy a property in United States?
That's the beauty of America, right? The beauty of America is that you do not even have to have a passport of the United States or even a green card of the United States. Even if you don't have a visa, we can still make it work. But some lenders, however, prefer for you to have at least a passport, because a visa, because they will prefer for you to be in the United States to close on your property. But as far as being an American or being a green card holder, legal resident of the United States, you do not have to have that to buy properties here in the United States.
Okay, so thank you very much for that. So these are the information that we are trying to let people understand. So another concerns that people are asking down there, which is about how do they get their money down to United States?
Oh,
so how do they? I'm a billionaire, I'm a millionaire in Nigeria, but how will I get my money down to United States?
Remember, that's easy. That's why it's a business, right?
Okay.
It's a business because if it was to be an individual fund that you want to send down to us, then they can flag it, because it's going to be a lot of money. I mean, you're talking about a certain percentage of $1 million or more than $1 million and stuff like that. However, business to business is easy, especially for the purpose of buying a property. Even when the bank sees it that you are sending the money to a title company or to a real estate company, they waive it because they know the purpose, they know what it's for. America enjoys inflow.
Okay.
Yes.
So you can hear. And then another questions, a lot of people, which is the reason I'm putting question in place here, because I want it to be clear to people. So another question, the concerns they have is properties in America is $200,000. So he said $250,000, $300,000. But I myself, I only have $75,000. So can I get a mortgage?
Very valid question, and thank you for asking it. Yes.
I want you to explain the concept of that mortgage, because in the part of where in Nigeria, the concept of mortgage to them is just maybe 5 years. So please, if you can explain how the mortgage works so that they can understand with their little percentage that they can afford to buy a property.
Thank you. I'll take it from the top, right? So you said if you have $70,000 to $75,000,
I just give an example.
It's an example, right? Yes, you can, as long as that $70,000 is only about 30-35% of the value of the property you want to buy.
So what you are trying to say in essence is that if any property you want to buy, you only need between 30 to 35% deposit.
That's it.
Okay.
That's as a matter of fact, I love the way you present it. So Now, and I'll do a quick breakdown analysis. The naturally is 25% down.
Okay.
The 25% down is towards your property, which is going to be an equity in your property. You own that, right? That's one. Then the other 5% that makes it 30% is the closing costs, right? The appraisal is going to be drawn from there. The inspection is going to be drawn from there. Option fee is going to be drawn from there. Option fee, you have a period between 5 to 10 days to determine if you still want to buy that property or not, and you get your money back, right? But if you fail to, then that means your property, your money is already in that property, and so they expect you to close within that the time frame that is allotted. However, that 25% down, if it does not check out right, let's say for instance, Mr. Adebibe is buying a property worth $300,000, right? And you said you put 25% down, right? Let's say the 25% down is now what, a quarter of that is like, let's say 75,000, right? Now $75,000, and they look at the mortgage. That means the financier, the lender, is going to finance you the rest of it, which is going to be 225. The 225, they want to be sure that when the mortgage on it, let's assume is 2,500
every month.
Every month, assumption. This is an assumption. Now, if the tenant, when you put after you close and the tenant moves in, and the rent of that property cannot go up to 2,500, that's 2,500. If it's 22,400, they will tell you need to put more money down. That's where the other 5% comes in. So that way your down payment now will be 30% and then 5% towards other costs. And before anything, and the reason for that is to secure you, to make sure that if and when there's no tenant in that property, you are still capable to make payment. So that draws down your monthly payment, and that way you can start getting positive cash flow into your business or into your pocket, as opposed to, because they expect the tenant to be paying off that mortgage for you and building your equity.
So here in Nigeria as well too. So thank you very much for that analysis.
And that's 30 years fixed. 30 years. I failed to mention that
30
earlier.
years.
30 years. You have 30 years to pay that off. 30 years.
So what he's trying to say now, the context is that the 275
to 25.
225, you have 30 years to pay. You pay it off. So one of the questions another concern that people ask me, and I want you to clarify to people as well, is my money in Nigeria, I get my rent every year. So how will I be paying this 25, the mortgage of my house? How will I be paying it every month? We're considering my rent that is being paid every year. In Nigeria, we pay the rent every year. So how is it working in America?
In America, we pay monthly.
Yes,
We don't pay annually. They prefer you to pay your rent monthly. So on that monthly rent, you of course assign a team. We have a management company that we work with within Lux Living, or you assign a realtor to manage your property for you. And in some contexts, if it's a multi-family complex, they usually have in-house management company that manages your property. That way, it is for the account that you leave behind for them to pay your money into. That's where they pay to. They pay directly to you
every month.
So
this is what I'm trying to explain to people. So what I'm trying to get you to explain is that as against Nigeria concept where you get your money every year, now you're going to be getting
your money every month. So the beauty of it is, if you pay for your property cash and let's say it's 300,000 and you pay the entire 300,000 every month that your tenant is paying, you are getting money back. You are getting money back
for the rest
for the life of the property. As long as there's a tenant in there, they are getting money back every month. And another thing is, as the money is coming to you, guess what? The property is appreciating.
Exactly. So that is the sweetness of it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
That is the sweetness of it. When your money is, you are collecting money every month, and your property itself is working for you to appreciate.
It's appreciating.
So So, and I want to ask again, this is my own personal question.
Okay.
So, how is it lucrative now investing in using Teslas? Can you explain to people, especially, I've been in the city since 2 days I've been here, and I'm seeing that the city is vibrant. So, but I want you to explain, you that have been living here for some times,
22 years.
doing some of this here. So, how vibrant is it for people? How lucrative it is for people investing?
Why am I so excited to answer this particular question? I have to face the camera to do this. So, Houston. First of all, we have the highest number of Nigerians living in the entire United States. The highest population of Nigerians in the United States. Houston is home to NASA, the airspace. Houston has the second largest medical facility in the world. Houston is the energy capital of the world. And then we have a hub called the Energy Corridor, where, you know, if we start talking about technology, Tesla is moving to Texas, and we have the best of the best foods. Southern hospitality, you can't miss that. We have a technology company moving to Dallas and Austin and Houston. So we have all of this and many more, you know. We have all of these things. So there's an influx of people into Houston, and we have a beautiful nightlife. Houston is one city that never sleeps on the outside. I'm sure maybe if you have time, I'll take you on a beautiful tour of Houston so you can see all of the beauties that we have in Houston. And those are one of the reasons, or some of the reasons, why people prefer Houston. And the cost of living is low. The cost of living is low. So if you're making $120,000 a year in California, you are compared to someone in Houston that's making only about $50,000, $60,000 a year. If you are making $300,000 in California, maybe if you are making $120,000 in Houston, you live the same lifestyle, if not better than those in California, and they know it. In New York, the same way. In other parts, we have one of the best. When I say one of the best, I mean one of the best housing, because our land is plain, right? So you can build and you don't have to worry about so much. It takes about 6 to 9 months to build, and from dirt to moving in, you know. So it's a beautiful place to be. You'll see, and we have one of the most diverse culture in the entire United States of America. So you see Africans from different descents, you see Asians, you see Europeans, most of us, you know, and less discrimination in Houston, less discrimination, because we are all one. You don't know where anybody's coming from, but at the end of the day, we are happy people.
Yeah. So I feel what you're still talking about, because when I was on flight, I saw a lot of mixed people, black, Asian guys. You know, it's all unlike when I go to other cities of United States. So Houston. So a little bit of what you've said, I've been experiencing it since I came. So another thing I want to ask, which I want you to clarify to people, is that I heard that if you have a couple of houses, maybe worth of $1.5 million, you can able to get a EB5 visa or something like that, or an investment of worth 1.2 million or 850. I don't know if you can. You clarify that bit.
I can touch on it, but you know, I can touch on it. It's usually the job of an attorney, an immigration attorney, to clarify that, and a CPA also can. That's what we call the accountant, or a tax person will be able to give more insights. But what I understand that there are programs in the United States called the EB5 program. The EB5 is an investment kind of visa where you come, you have to have at least, but the money has to be clean money. It has to be clean. I'm telling you, it has to be clean, because they will verify the source. And you know, the beautiful thing is, even with that $1 million you put in place for them, they will get you a green card. Not even, it's a route to citizenship. So to green card, you get a green card, and you are eligible for to bring up to 10 people total, including yourself. 10 people total to the United States with $1 million. But again, I'm telling you, the money has to be legit, because they will scrutinize the source. It takes up to a year to get that approval, but usually approved. And when it's approved, when we move down here, they give you, the main sponsor, $1,000 or thereabouts every month just to support you, while they inject your money into properties where it is needed to develop those areas. Once that's done, after I think about 4 or 5 years, they give you back your money. So you still get your money, and then you can, but guess what? You're already, you and maybe 9 other people are already green card holders in the United States. So that's a beautiful thing. But I have companies that does that, that we can introduce you to, but it is not my forte. So I will definitely,
so the reason why, I'm just trying to, just thank you very much for this educative part. I'm just trying to educate us about the potential opportunities that are here in the United States. As an investors, investors, and people that wants to move or migrate. And then there are some people like you that we call them high networking individuals that they don't want to move, but they want to benefit their family, and they want to benefit from this all this kind of opportunity. So imagine, and I used to talk about collaboration. Imagine 10 of us come together right now. We put $100,000
each, right? That's $1 million. $1
million, and one person face the whole stuff and get it for everyone without leaving Lagos.
Done deal.
And you understand? So these are the advantage of collaboration.
And you know the beauty of that EB5. Sorry to cut you short. The advantage is you don't have to be the one to sponsor yourself. Somebody can sponsor you, but the only disadvantage with that is they will have to scrutinize the source of that person.
Yes, but that's
because the source of the fund has to be clean.
These are the opportunities as an investors. You have a lot of investment opportunity apart from your money. So these are the high level we are talking about. So so that people can understand that it's not only now you have to be a global citizen. That is the new gimmick of a global person. You have to. I'm talking to you right now in America. I'm coming to this place. I don't even need any visa.
That's right.
So you understand? I don't. If I have a business to be done in Singapore, as you're talking, we're going to be there. So, and I want that to be for us right now, because the new level of the game now is now in the globalization.
Right.
We need to take advantage of globalization. So, on my final note, final question to you. So, what is your advice, being in this industry, being in this? What is your advice you're going to give to people local there in Nigeria right now to able to come on board?
So there's a summit coming up on the 5th, because there's not too much I can give right now on air. However, there's a summit coming up. It's been hosted by Mr. Sunday Aderibigbe. It's going to be on the 9th of March, 2024. It's going to be at Radisson Blu in Ikeja, right? That's in GRA, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You should be there. Right, I think he has discounted it. It was $500,000 initially. I think he's subsidizing it to 300,000 naira, not dollars. Sorry, naira. It's 500,000. It was 500,000 naira, but now it's 300,000 naira. It's a place where you need to be to learn more. You have speakers that would enlighten you about the opportunities therein, and that will motivate you to even do more with your life. I'm not a motivational speaker. I am an entrepreneur. I am a real estate agent. I work with a brokerage firm called Lux Living Group here in the Houston area. And we do more for people that are in Nigeria that are looking to edge their funds. You have funds just sitting in the bank, not doing too much. You want to plant that, and you want to be able to repatriate your fund in a year or two. By all means, real estate is the way, and it is real because it is real. As it is an asset. It is tangible. It's something you can touch, something you can, and it appreciates over time. If you don't mind, I'll use an example. A quick example is a property I bought in 2020. In September 2020, I bought it for $168,000, and today the property is nearly $300,000, and that's not even up to 3 years, right? Yes, about 3 years now. I already have over $120,000 on it, and it's paying for itself. So I don't even have to worry about it. And that's the beauty of doing this. So if you want to learn more, please, I encourage you and I implore you to please register for this event. It is very, very necessary. I'm scheduled to be there, but I can't confirm that yet because I have other lineups, but I will let you guys know. If not, I will send a recording of what needs to be done or how it needs to be done, and I will send it out to you. You guys, thank you so much for staying with us.
Yeah, so you've read it all. So where do you want to be? If you want to take your investment, your financial level to the next level in 2024, you have to be there. International Real Estate Summit in Ikeja, in Radisson Blu in Ikeja, 9th of March. So we're going to be there live and direct to help you to move yourself to a global level. The world is waiting for you. The opportunity that you have been waiting for is now at your back end. So thank you very much. Hope to see you at the event. And thank you, Mr. Kola, for your time.
Hello and welcome back to my community on Afrocentric Television channel 27.9. Do I need to remind you? Of course, this is that station that revolves around the Africans in diaspora, starting with us here in Houston. We love that. And, you know, of course, we're a global TV station now because we are, accessible via social media and, of course, YouTube. My name is Kolawole Akinmuyiwa. I hope you have enjoyed the last two episodes, the interview with Mr. Adirigbe, and of course, for the Kiran Rao running for Fortnum Commissioner Precinct 3. We hope she gets your support as the first woman in that will probably be in office, and it will be nice to see the diversification in the board, and also for people that have had the challenges and have a track record of fighting through life just to fight for you and I in Fort Bend County. I hope that would help. It would be nice for you to donate to our campaign by visiting kiranforcommissioner.com. And secondly, I just want to urge you to be a part of our team at Afrocentric Television, at Afrocentric Television, of course, channel 27.9. Please visit www.afrocentric.tv. Afrocentric is spelled with a K at the end, then tv.com. There's a whole lot to see on there. Please join our YouTube channel by subscription. It's free, by the way. It's not a paid subscription. You can join for free at Afrocentric Television on YouTube. And of course, follow us on Instagram, Afrocentric Television, and of course on Facebook, Afrocentric Houston or Afrocentric Television. We are there. So, and if you have concern, you think there's something we need to talk about as it affects positively or negatively those of us in diaspora, here in Houston especially, please bring it to the table. You can send us an email at myvineyardtv15.8@gmail.com, or you can simply call us 281-571-1931. We'll be more than happy to respond to all your messages and put it to the table. Until next time, please stay out of trouble and try to vote. Vote. It is a civic duty. Please do that. And until next time, stay out of trouble, stay safe, and be well. Thank you.